Not we.
Drew, you haven't.
I've been trying to get the Niners in the show for weeks.
When? You've been trying to get Brock Purdy in the show.
Who's he play for? We're not talking Brock Purdy without talking Niners, all right? You two have been comatose on the Niners.
What's Mac Jones left?
You only want to talk Niners if it's Mac Jones or if Brock Purdy throws 3 interceptions or it's bad. But Purdy's been good.
You might be right.
So we don't even mention the Niners.
And they have been playing tomato cans, so it's just like,
Well, they've beaten Seattle. Are they a tomato can?
Drew, that was week 1. We did talk about it. Drew, we talked about it.
Week 1 doesn't matter?
No, it does, but you can't say
we talked about it because you guys thought Brock struggled, and I said, but he threw. His mobility enabled him to get room and throw the game-winning touchdown.
We're just, Wilds was saying, we haven't talked about them because they're beating tomato cans, and then you're like, they beat Seattle, but we did talk about it when that happened. It was labor.
But he said it's week 1. That doesn't count.
No, it counts.
That's
but we
why we haven't talked about them
Put
recently.
the Niners schedule up. So
they beat the Rams.
We talked about it.
Yes, we did.
I'm not sure we did. We did beat the Rams. They beat the Rams. And look, you play who's in front of you.
Sorry, we want to do you want to do 10 minutes
now, I will say this.
The Titans and the Browns.
They had a bye. They had the Titans game. The Browns, Brew,
hold on. Okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
The Browns, the Titans, whoever you want to throw in. Well, if Brock Purdy had struggled.
Well, that's news.
Yes, that's
how
you know how news works.
That's news?
Yes.
Man bites dog,
Several
dog
quarterbacks
bites man.
struggle every week. Do we talk about all of them?
Against the Titans,
He is the starter, period. The end. But why are we talking about him if he struggles if we know he's the starter?
They are 5 wins away from the Super Bowl. If they would, so are you ready to get?
And
I'm excited.
Am I ready to say they're going to win?
No, you don't have to. I'm not talking. No. It was a big shock to me where I was like, we're in Sam Darnold world last night after the win,
and that they also control their own destiny.
Oh, they can win out, get a bye, and beat their last home game is in Indianapolis theoretically, and they could just or last away game. Then they just stay at home all the way to raising the trophy.
Look
on the board.
I think they are. Like I said, I think the NFC is wide open. I do think there are teams better than I think Philadelphia. I mean, we'll see. We're going to find out how good they are.
Yeah.
We're about to find out because they got Indianapolis, which still isn't just a cakewalk. Then Chicago and Seattle.
Starting a grandfather at quarterback.
No, it's the last 2 weeks. This week,
and they should win this, but I'm just saying,
the next 2 weeks are huge games.
Yeah, so we are going to find. They're not my pick in the NFC. You know, I got Green Bay, but we're going to find out just how good they are.
Well, here's what I do.
And I'm sure if Brock will struggle, he'll be.
Here's what I do think.
And in the East too.
We've been sleeping on. Christian McCaffrey's just having an all-time season.
Yeah.
All time?
Bro,
I think that's a little much.
Bro, hold on.
He's averaging 3 yards a carry.
Can I?
He's playing well. But go ahead.
Let me just tell you why. Let me tell you why I think, and I think you'll agree with me, Brew. He is right now on pace to have 1,000 yards receiving, 1,000 yards rushing. That has been done by Roger Craig in 1985, Marshall Faulk in 1999, Christian McCaffrey in 2019, and that's the list. So by definition, if he has 1,000, that's an all-time season, right? Like I think you'd agree with me that is we've only seen it done 3 times in NFL history.
We've been expecting him to.
And he is leading to he has not been as on a per carry basis, having maybe the worst year of his career or something like that. It's 3.6. His touches, he leads the NFL in touches by a mile. He is 3rd in the NFL in yards from scrimmage. He is 3rd in the NFL in touchdowns. He is 12th in the NFL in targets with more than A.J. Brown. He is 6th in the NFL in catches with more than everyone other than Puka, Trey McBride, JSN, Jamar Chase, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. He has been the offense.
If you're a running back, I want you, your main thing is running the football. He's been great, don't get me wrong. I just bristle when you say all-time season. Is Bijan Robinson having an all-time season? He's got more yards from scrimmage than him.
I think the 1,000.
I'd rather you have 1,500 and 500. 1,500 from Saquon's season last year was much better.
Yes, but that was an all-time great season.
But 1,000 is 2,000. I mean, I'm saying all the yards for a running back are not created equal. If you're a running back, I'd rather most of your yards come off tackle.
We got to go.
All right. They need to proceed. I will remain. I'm struggling to comprehend the specific argument being presented. There was an extended commentary asserting the need for greater discussion around this team, suggesting they are being underestimated, with a counterpoint highlighting an individual player's historic, phenomenal season. The response was skepticism regarding that assertion. The counterpoint wasn't articulated in a manner intended to diminish the accomplishments of another player. If that were the case, for instance, using one player's success to undermine another's MVP candidacy, especially when the latter missed significant time, I could understand the defensive pushback. However, that doesn't appear to be the context. The player in question, at one stage, led the entire league in both rushing attempts and receptions. While other receivers have since surpassed his reception total, his current production remains extraordinary. Therefore, I'm uncertain why there is an effort to downplay his performance. I grasp the comparison to other running backs in unique situations, but direct comparisons are often imperfect. The sheer versatility and volume of responsibility entrusted to this player constitute a legitimate, albeit ultimately non-winning argument for the league's highest individual honor. He is undertaking virtually every conceivable task for his offensive unit. Regarding the broader narrative surrounding this franchise, given the volume of injuries they have sustained, I completely understand why analysts express uncertainty about how to evaluate them. I consider that perspective entirely valid. I've frequently stated it's remarkable to witness their resilience under their head coach and defensive coordinator. Observing the backup quarterback's performance was thrilling, and witnessing the starter return to form has been immensely enjoyable. It is profoundly impressive. Nevertheless, it remains challenging to formulate a coherent assessment. Their most significant victory came against a divisional rival, a game where the backup quarterback appeared physically compromised, yet persevered. They then suffered a decisive defeat to another contender in a manner that seemed unexpectedly one-sided, compounded by the loss of another key defensive contributor. Following that, they faced an ascending opponent, a team that had already secured a notable victory and was, as commentary noted, fighting for relevancy. The narrative was, if you are a legitimate squad, this is your moment to strike against an injured, reeling powerhouse. The response from the injured team was a definitive no. Subsequently, they faced that same divisional rival again, and the contest was not remotely competitive, revealing a clear disparity. Re-examining their earlier season matchup against that rival prompts questions about its authenticity. Victories against lesser opponents since then have been inconsistent or unconvincing. Consequently, one is left pondering, what conclusion can be drawn? To be explicit, I am not conducting a schedule audit to argue this team is fraudulent or deficient. Earlier in the season, debates about who have you beaten held more weight. At this current juncture, with the performance levels of all teams in flux, that line of inquiry carries less significance for me. I am merely articulating the source of the pervasive confusion. How does one make sense of this? A young quarterback recently posted a massive passing yardage total against a certain opponent. The quarterback for this team is demonstrably superior, and I hold him to a substantially higher standard. Therefore, when he delivers an excellent statistical performance against that same caliber of opponent, my reaction is muted. It signifies only so much. If he had been genuinely struggling, with his starting status in legitimate jeopardy, a scenario that felt authentic, not merely media-generated noise, then a dominant rebound performance would carry greater meaning. That was not the prevailing context surrounding his situation. My evaluation of this franchise has consistently been holistic, viewing them as a collective entity. They have, in my opinion, embodied the concept of team more profoundly in recent years than other championship-caliber squads. For a period, their collective identity was overpowering. A unit capable of everything, controlling games instantaneously. This potency was evident even in a recent victory, where commentary noted that observers forget the sheer force of this team when the head coach has sufficient operational pieces. The sentiment was, you forget you're watching this franchise. That resonates. When adequately staffed, the strategic layers the head coach can implement are masterful. However, the constant roster flux, including instability at the quarterback position, makes it mentally taxing to synthesize a coherent evaluation. When they finally achieve a degree of health and appear formidable, the opposition's quality comes into question. For instance, a previous opponent demonstrated defensive competence against another squad. Therefore, I am intrigued by this upcoming matchup. If forced to choose a winner between this team and their opponent, the logical selection is clear. However, the opponent's potential for improvement in their second outing introduces some uncertainty. The ultimate litmus test, of course, will be subsequent contests against two formidable, playoff-caliber opponents. Both matchups should present authentic challenges. A scenario could even emerge where both teams are vying for the top conference seed. Ultimately, the discourse about whether this team is being slept on is secondary. The substantive reality is they possess a tangible opportunity to be consequential in the postseason and are engaged in genuinely meaningful late-season contests. This isn't meaningful in the sense of a desperate scramble for a playoff berth or a weak division title. This is meaningful in the sense of competing for premier seeding and home field advantage, a stark contrast to other divisional races. Considering the onslaught of injuries, devastating losses, and perpetual lineup instability, their current position is astonishing and commendable. Thus, the situation fundamentally demands patience and observation. Confidence, or the lack thereof, will be constructed based on their performances against those elite upcoming opponents, not based on results against inferior competition. There is no analytical value in revisiting a Week 1 result against a different opponent, as this is a completely transformed roster. Similarly, a Week 5 result holds diminished relevance due to subsequent personnel changes. The critical evaluation is strictly current. How are you performing in the final weeks? What momentum exists? Is the defense operating efficiently? Is the offense cohesive? What is the quarterback's form and demeanor? That is the exclusive focus. But those are simply my reflections. I would be delighted to hear yours. What are everyone's thoughts on this franchise? Do you believe they have been underestimated or overlooked? Share your perspectives in the comments section below. I read every single comment. Whether you agree with me or challenge me, let's engage in some dialogue. Let's have some spirited debates, but ultimately, let's simply enjoy the conversation. Please consider subscribing. We are cultivating an incredible community here and would absolutely adore your participation. I aim to build something we all feel a genuine connection to, something we're truly enthusiastic about joining. I believe we are making significant progress toward that goal. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it genuinely assists with visibility and the platform's algorithm. Thank you so very much. I will see you all next time.